last video for week 3. This is covering learning objectives 4, and 5. Improve your writing techniques by emphasizing the important ideas, employing active and passive voice, using parallelism, preventing dangling and misplaced modifiers. Remember, there is that grammar portion under introduction that will have like the quizzes, not quizzes to be quizzes for graded, but like to help you understand this. And so it's saying you need a few writing techniques that will help you. So stressing the important word, you need to use vivid words. You can stress prominent ideas mechanically by underscoring, italicizing, or boldfacing. Stylistically, by employing one of the following methods. Vivid words, which are emphatic because the reader can picture them. The way we socialize is changing. Okay. Facebook has dramatically changed, see the word dramatically, changed the way people socialize on the web. So you can easily understand what that means when they use the word dramatically. And here are some other ones. Label, the main idea. Explore the possibility of a Facebook fan page, but also consider security. Explore the possibility of a Facebook fan page, but most important, consider security. Place the important idea first or last. So unemphatic, all production administrative personnel will meet on May 23rd, at which time we will introduce Asana, a new software program that keeps employees informed. So first off, that is just a really huge sentence. Date, but the main part of that is May 23rd. That's like a main presentation day. On May 23rd, all personnel will meet to learn about the new software program, Asana, that keeps employees informed. Place the important idea in a simple sentence or in an independent clause. Don't dilute the effect of it by making it share the spotlight. So look at all the words, and you can get lost in those words. And instead of using 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, you're down to 2. You're the first trainee we've hired for this program. Yay! Make sure the important idea is a sentence subject. Here, the social networking report was written by Courtney. Courtney wrote the social networking report. Here's active and passive voice effectively. Active voice is the subject, the actor performs the action. Passive voice sentences, the subject receives the action. Okay. Active voice sentences are more direct because they reveal the performer immediately. Easier to understand and usually shorter. Most business writing should be an active voice. If you're going to use passive voice, use it to emphasize an action rather than the person, or de-emphasize negative news and conceal the doer of the action. So here's active versus passive. Actor is Justin, action must submit. Passive, the tax return was submitted by was submitted. And then you can just go over these examples. Parallelism is a skillful writing technique that involves balanced writing, sentences written so that their parts are balanced or parallel, are easy to read and understand. To achieve parallel construction, use similar structures to express, okay? For example, the words computing, coding, recording, and storing are parallel because all the words end in ing. To express the list as computing, coding, recording. It's disturbing because the last item is not what the reader expects. See, there's no INGs. Feels weird. Try to match nouns with nouns, verbs with verbs. The policy affected all vendors, suppliers, and those involved with consulting. So here's the ING and there's nothing else. The policy affected all vendors, suppliers, and consultants. Okay. Super Bowl ads have 3 objectives. We want to increase product use, introduce complementary products, our corporate image will be enhanced. Our Super Bowl ads have 3 objectives: increase product use, introduce complementary products, enhance our corporate image. So increase, introduce, enhance. Escaping dangling and misplaced modifiers. Remember, there is that one assignment, and well, the only assignment in this chapter for chapter 5 that you have to do for 3.2. Um, and you do all this. So you'll need to come back and kind of refresh your memory and work with it that way. For clarity, modifiers must be close to the words they describe or limit. Modifier dangles when the word or phrase it describes is missing. For example, after working overtime, the report was finally finished. The sentence says the report was working overtime. After working overtime, the report was finally, yeah, it does. It reads like the report is working overtime. Revise, the sentence contains a logical subject. After working overtime, we finally finished the report. Modifier, firefighters rescued a dog from a burning car that had a broken leg. It sounds like the car had the broken leg. Solution, firefighters rescued a dog with a broken leg from a burning car. Okay. Now here's a checklist, the typical end of chapter checklist. But there's still a little bit more to this chapter. Okay, it's given us 2 checklists. Drafting effective sentences, use a variety of sentence types, avoid common sentence faults, and it gives you information. Control sentence length, emphasize important ideas, apply active and passive voice verbs, employ parallelism, eliminate misplaced modifiers. Okay. Building well-organized paragraphs. Topic sentence, supporting sentence, limiting sentence. Topic sentence reveals the primary idea. And a paragraph usually but not always appears first. Paragraphs may be composed of these 3. They may be arranged in any of the 3 classic paragraph plans, direct, pivoting, and indirect. So then it starts telling you, using the direct paragraph plan, illustrate or describe. Excuse me. The topic sentence, a social audit is a report on the social performance of a company. And here's the supporting sentences. You can alter the direct plan by adding a limiting sentence. You're going to have to sit and just kind of go through this. Flexible work scheduling can immediately increase productivity and enhance employee satisfaction. In our entire organization, such scheduling, however, is impossible for all employees. And then here's the supporting sentences. Some of this you're just going to have to sit and look at the examples and go, okay, and just study them for a little bit. Pivot paragraph plan to compare and contrast. Remember, you have to do compare and contrast in your discussion for this week. Use the indirect paragraph plan to explain and persuade. And the developing paragraph coherence by doing well-written paragraphs take the reader through a number of steps. When the author skips from step 1 to step 3 and forgets 2, the reader's lost. So, sustaining the key idea. Use a similar one throughout the paragraph, which helps you be consistent. Dovetailing sentences. It's helpful with dense, difficult topics. It's also helpful with ordinary paragraphs. It gives you an example, including pronouns, how to include pronouns in your paragraphs. Employing transitional expressions, okay, for showing connections and achieving paragraph coherence. Drafting paragraphs for readability. Although no rule regulates the length of paragraphs, business writers recognize that short paragraphs are more attractive and readable than longer ones. Paragraphs with 8 or fewer lines look inviting. If a topic can't be covered at 8 or fewer printed lines, not sentences, consider breaking it up into smaller segments. So here's some transitional expressions, how you go from one to the other. Just some words to help you figure it out. Prepare meaningful paragraphs. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. One idea, direct plan, pivoting plan, indirect plan, coherence, road signs, limit paragraph length. And there's some more information about your skills at GAP. And the last 2 pages are the typical pages I tell you guys that you need to review. Summary of learning objectives. All right, so here's objective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they give you little short, quick helps like pivoting paragraphs. That's what you do. Indirect paragraphs is this. Parallelism. So they give you little, hints and tips. And then 170 provides a chapter review where you can find short little things to help you get to the objectives. And then you're into the activities, and we've already talked about the activities for this chapter. All right, guys. So that's this. I've given you a ton of videos to look at. It's also broken down so you can pick and choose what you need to. Hopefully, you can find what you need. If you can't find what you need, let me know. Okay.